And welcome back. Our final guest is the owner of the Yoshida Academy. And she's here to speak about her book, Inclusion is a Verb: Five Signs That Your Company is Genuinely Inclusive, and how she is raising awareness for multicultural communities in the workplace. So please welcome to the show, Minué Yoshida. Minué, welcome.
Hi, welcome. How are you doing? Nice to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yes, so happy to have you. Now, look at you have this big Yoshida Academy. How did you get it all together? Where did it all come from? Tell us about it.
Thank you so much. So, Yoshida Academy was born about maybe 6 years from now, I have to say. I was working already with my business partner, Andy Oganda, before that. But officially started actually just a few years ago, and you would never believe how soon this happened. I've been working for corporations for about 27 years,
Uh huh.
but at the end, I always say that the mission calls you and it's stronger and the fire is faster and bigger than what you already have. And so
Yeah.
a company was born out of a need of becoming a multicultural
Wow.
solution, is a one-stop shop for many corporations,
Yes.
institutions, organizations.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you were working for these corporations, I guess you were in the mix and you realized that there was something that was needed that you needed to work on: diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. Speak about how you got in the mix. How did it all happen?
Yes, and so I've been here in this country only 19 years, and ever since I came to the United States, I realized that I was never belonging, and I was always looking for this sense of belonging because I am half Japanese, half Mexican. I grew up in Mexico City all my life, but then looking like this, they were always like, "Okay, you're Asian, definitely." So I
Oh,
have this feeling of I belonged, but then I came to
yeah.
the U.S. and I finally found, okay, wait a minute, it's not belonging. What I'm looking for is diversity, equity, and then inclusion. And so we are right now looking for inclusion and activating inclusion. I've been involved in DEI world, what we call, for 18 years now. Can you believe that? 18 years in
Wow.
different and corporations. They're called ERGs, employee resource groups, or business resource groups, or networking groups typically. So I've been doing that for the past 18 years now,
Yeah.
and I was part of, I don't know how many. I can't even count them. In the beginning, I started with Latino and Hispanic, but in the last company, I actually can join all of them to be part of every single group of affinity groups as well.
Yeah, no, I get it. I feel the same way. But when you first got here, you didn't feel embraced, right? You didn't feel like, loved, so to speak.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And in those days, and that's part of what's in the book actually, on the first chapter is when I just got here, I
Uh-huh.
did not even know what harassment was, what microaggression was. I didn't know what lack of belonging was. I didn't know what discrimination was. I really had no idea. I have to be honest. And there were many things and and jokes that were at my expense that I was laughing with them, and then I realized, wait a minute, this is not even appropriate. But I didn't know until later on that I discovered where I was. And that's what I'm saying. Um, Inclusion, activating inclusion, is not just something that I'm thinking about. It's something that I had to go through and live through go through that experience and now say, ha, I can call it now. I can see it now, and now I have a different aspect and a different willingness to stand up and speak up. I think
Yeah.
it's an act of bravery at the end of the day.
And now you put the pen to the paper. You said, you know what? I'm going to write a book.
Yes,
Inclusion is not a verb. How did you come up with that name and what's it all
actually,
about?
inclusion is a verb. Is the name of that.
It
It's
is a
just
verb.
a verb, and it's because and now because I have my own company with my business partner Angie Ogando. So now I
Uh,
can call the cat, and this is how we say things. When I was working in corporations, there was a lot of I think it's called red tape, and it's
yeah.
like when someone is redacting a document and it's old traits in black, scratch in black. So now I can say it, and this is what the reality
Yeah.
is, that many companies are checking the box. and they are saying like, I'm just going to have a Hispanic Heritage Month Day or a Black History Month Day. But that does not change the story of the company. That does not change the fact that everyone on the top layers, not on the bottom, we
Yeah.
can say we're diverse in the bottom. But when you see the top layers, then you realize inclusion is not all the way vertical. It could be horizontal, but not vertical. So when you go up to supervisor, director, VP, CEO, CMO, CFOs, CIT, etc., they're not diverse. And you can see this in the biggest corporations right now.
So it
And
stops somewhere. So
yeah, so
when,
yeah,
when we say Black History Month, is that enough, or
definitely not.
1 month is just locked into just 1 month, and Black History is American history, or every
Absolutely,
day?
absolutely. And so, and then we fall into something else. So checking the box is one of the biggest issues.
Yeah.
The other one is called tokenism, right? It's like, oh, you're black, yeah, come over here. So it's not your talent, it's not your capacity, it's not your abilities,
Uh,
it's you're black. And I want to tell the world that I have a black person in my team, right? But that's not the point. The point is when you have a lot of people in front of you and you have the possibility to groom them all so that they can occupy and use and be on those seats where the decisions are made, where the
yeah.
budget's given, right? All the way in the top. Are you actually giving everybody the same opportunity? Because that is not the case. And I've seen this. I've been here for a long, long time and haven't seen them. So tokenism is like, oh, you my token person, right?
Yeah.
And that's also not the point.
You got
I've been
tokenism, you got code switching.
You have exactly. You have code switching. There's a lot of times where it's like we want everybody to feel comfortable, yet we're sending them mixed messages in corporations of what professional is supposed to look like and what is not. Like one of my friends said, Pavel Martinez said, let's redefine what professional is. Because if I'm telling you that you can come to this place and you
Yeah.
can be yourself, but please, if your hair is curly, you have to straighten to be professional. You can't use earrings like this because of this. You can't do this. Are you asking me to be myself or not
Uh-huh.
to be myself? Are
Wow.
you penalizing who I am? So yes, and then code switching, it's another one. And there are so many of these words that it's almost like it's a trend to have a DEI or a diversity and inclusion group, but then there's no budget. We've lived this year. I'm not kidding. 2022. Many
Yeah.
corporations ironically said, "I want you to be better. Everybody has to grow. Oh, by the way, we have cut the budgets in training and in diversity and
Yeah.
inclusion."
Is all of
You want
this
me-
information on your website? Do you have a website that we can find out more about what you're doing?
Yes, absolutely. And it's
What is
YoshidaAcademy.com. That's the easiest, YoshidaAcademy.com. We're actually using the hashtag inclusion is a verb.
Yeah.
All of this information is here. And please know this book is for awareness, but it's also to be a little bit disruptive and people to go there, go through the DEI scorecard, make sure where your company is, and then go back and say, in this scorecard, this is what we have. We need to improve. It gives you a starting point to improve inclusion in your corporation, institution, or in university.
Thank you so much. YoshidaAcademy.com, right? YoshidaAcademy.com.
Absolutely. And social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Yoshida Academy as well with the same name.
We appreciate you. Thank you for sharing, okay? And come back again.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much
You
for
got
this
it.
space.
Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you. and
Minué
everybody.
Yoshida. She's the founder of Yoshida Academy. That's about it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, and you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You can follow us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. You can join our hosts, Kevin Arlene, Darren Jaime, Rena Valentine, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for a new episode of Open. Thank you so much. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the choose. And remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and I'll see you over 107.5 WVLS. Have a joyous new year, a prosperous new year. And we'll catch you another day, another way. We love you all.